And so we've got a few announcements, and the first person to make an announcement is going to be Katie Naranjo, who got her start as a UDems officer and became president of College Democrats of America, and is now a partner in the legendary GNR strategies. So we're glad she's with us tonight.
So I was emailing Billy a number of times this week about what I did this last year, which was working in Egypt for a number of weeks. I was actually there working with the WAFT, RDP, Democratic Front, and NDP parties, which were the four main parties within the something like 63 different political parties that Egypt has. The only other main party that I did not work with was the Muslim Brotherhood, because they were not anything that I would want to be associated with for many reasons, which you've probably read about in the New York Times. But so recently, actually today, I started getting emails back from them. What happened was last January I spent 3 weeks in Egypt doing trainings with each one of the parties. And who I met with was basically their college dems. So I was the national president of college dems at the time, and I met with all their national presidents. And the stories were insane. First of all, in Egypt, you only have 3 weeks that you can even register to vote. Or 3 months, I'm sorry. 3 months in the year that you can register to vote. Think about how many people we register as a club, and that we registered over years. You only have 3 months for that. Political organizing like this can't happen on a college campus. It's against the law. In fact, when I met with the Democratic Front Party, they were the first group I met with, which was pretty interesting because the two of them came straight from the police station from being arrested because they met with 5 other of their Democratic Front members near a campus. And so they consider that political organizing. Many of the people that I worked with were afraid and scared and not really sure what kind of the rules were for them to be able to have a voice in their government. And coming from that experience and seeing what happened, I was really upset. But towards the end of my trip, I actually met with the RDP, which is Anwar Scott's son's political party. And they actually started on Facebook. They have about 10,000 members now, which makes them the second largest actual membership list, second largest political party in Egypt. And they started on Facebook. Actually, I have if you want, I have a link to the protest page that actually started the protests in Egypt. This is something that's been organized through social media, online for months now, and I've been getting my Google Translator out and taking it to Arabic and then translating it to see what the heck people are saying and what's going on. And since I was there in January, I've been doing follow-up Skype trainings with them about how to use social media and how to get involved and how to have a voice. Because within the Muslim culture in Egypt, you don't ask for money, you don't block, you don't make phone calls, you don't ask people which party they're with, you don't go up to somebody and say you should vote for this person. It doesn't happen like that. The institutionalization of a family, like the Mubarak family or the Sadat family, the reason why they exist is because they have the money to start a political party and nobody would ask for money to fundraise. And so that's the kind of cultural institutionalization of what happened so far. But now we're seeing a huge revolution that was started by young people. 90,000 people on Facebook are a part of this, January 24th Revolution Day in Egypt. And we're all young people. The average age of somebody in the protests right now is 28 years old. And it's all because of unemployment rates for young people, a continuing silencing of political voices, and apathy. I mean, when I met with there are 6 vice chairs within the NDP, and the NDP is the ruling party in Egypt. When I met with one of their vice chairs, who was over education and training, he said to me, I asked him, what are you guys working on this year? What's your big policy initiative? He said, drug abuse of prescription drugs. And I was sitting there, and we were at this nice cafe. I had my little U.S. Embassy person telling me what I could and couldn't say, as I was, being a Texan, saying inappropriate things and hugging people, which you don't do that. You don't touch another person of the opposite sex in Egypt. Bad idea. I've got stories. That's friendly. But anyways, no, not that friendly. Just not hot. Anyways, but when I was talking to him, we were looking at the Nile, and just a few miles up the Nile, down further into the continent, it was polluted. They would throw all of their trash into the Nile, and that was the way that they got rid of trash. There was no utility system. There was no garbage pickup. There institute recycling or just trash pickup, and he was like, no, we're not concerned with that right now. So there were a lot of writings on the wall. I'm going on a little bit longer than I thought, but I have a lot more stories about what people are doing in terms of political organizing on the forefront that I got today. I'd be happy to share them with you if everyone's bringing players. Is anyone bringing players? Just checking. And then my last pitch is, if you want an internship at GNI Strategies, we're looking and we're really fun, I promise. So come find me afterwards. And thanks.
And now we have Torsten Knabe here, who's the Vice President of Christians Alliance, and he's going to tell us about a special rally on February the 14th.
Hi, everybody. I think I'll probably do a bigger presentation on this later, maybe. But just as a aside, what we're having is the Career Students Alliance is having a rally for competitive insurance benefits, which they used to call it domestic partnership benefits. The reason for the name change is like the Board of Regents doesn't care about social justice issues, they care about money. So, because what it is because what happens is UT and A&M, and actually all schools in Texas, but anyway, they don't allow like health insurance benefits for your spouse if you're not married, which disproportionately affect people that can't get married. And so anyway, so we're having a rally to support them and the faculty. That's going to be at noon on the 14th in the West Mall. And then that's going to be like 30 minutes. Then we're going to walk there's supposed to be like 100 professors there or something. And they're going to walk to the HR building. 15 of them have filled out paperwork already to try and apply for health insurance for their spouse. Obviously, they're going to get rejected. But they're going to turn it in, and there's going to be all this media there, and then the director of insurance things is going to give like this big speech and everything. So come out for that. It's at noon in the West Mall on February 14th. Thanks.
And I'm sure many of you probably already have your tickets, but in case you didn't know, Jimmy Carter is coming to campus February the 15th, and as far as I know, they still have tickets today, so go get them if you haven't already. February the 15th, Jimmy Carter, it's going to be exciting.
Where do you get the tickets?
Go to the Union in that, what's the office called? SEC office, there you go.
Fourth floor, right?
Fourth floor.
Got my tickets.
Me too.
Okay. All right, anybody else have any quick announcements of Melissa Davis does? Former UDems collegian.
How many guys are freshmen in the College of Liberal Arts? Yeah, okay. There are 12 $30,000 scholarships up for the taking right now. Yeah, it's really big. It's called the Rapid Core Service Scholarship. It's all about civic responsibility, social justice, volunteering in your community. If you're interested, I'm a scholar, you can come talk to me afterwards. The catch is that the deadline is Monday, so get on those essays. I have some information here for you, so come talk to me about it afterwards. It's a really great scholarship.
All right, does anybody else have any quick announcements?
Judge John Lipscomb said wanted me to express his condolences. He couldn't be here tonight. He has a heating problem at his house.
Well, our condolences are with the judge.
I love saying Judge Lipscomb.
It's very nice. Oh, and Robbie Nugent is our upstairs.
Okay, make it really short. Okay, we're doing kitchen cabinets again this semester. If you don't know what kitchen cabinets are, we're pretty much assigning members within our organization to leadership or members who have been here past semesters. If you'd like to be involved in the kitchen cabinet, let me know. I have a sign-up sheet. It's pretty much a good way to form little communities within our organization, get to know one another a lot better, and just come up to me, ask me, and I'll get you on the sign-up list. And also, we're tabling out in the West Mall, and we need some volunteers to help us out. So if you'd like to give an hour or two a week, we greatly appreciate it. I have another sign-up list, so come to me after the meeting, and we will take care of that. Thank you.
All right. So what do I do now? $5 dues yet, our treasurer, Jeanette Martinez, sitting in the back on her iPhone, will take them. She's not really on her iPhone. She will take your dues. I know she'd be happy to. And then obviously join UDems committee. And the three big events that we mentioned during the meeting are coming up, so be sure that you get those dates and that information, and we will see you at all those things. And last, what do we do now? We go